Okay, let's start at the beginning. This is the Five of Cups. This does feel like a little crying over spilt milk is what I call this card. So it does feel like your expectations might have been out of balance from the reality of what was happening, or someone may have disappointed you. So this could be anywhere from a business partner to a love relationship or friendship, family relationship. So it does look like you may have had some expectations or even a physical agreement that was broken. So it does look like you were disappointed over something, or you might have trusted someone that was not trustworthy. So what crosses you is the Fool. And the Fool is the beginning. That is the 0 card. And the Tarot is really the story of the Fool. This is kind of us as a beginning spirit. So when the Fool shows up, it usually means something didn't happen the way that you thought it would, and it's brand new beginnings. Your slate is clean. This can be a new relationship. This can be a new business partner, a new job, new home. But it does feel like from this disappointment, something else better came from it. Yes, you do have to start over again, especially if it was somebody who reneged on an agreement. You may have to find another partner, something like that. But it does look like a promise that wasn't kept is actually going to work out to your benefit. Right now, you're right in the middle of the disappointment, but it does feel the future is a little brighter. And you know, Spirit takes people out of our way or shows us their true colors if our karma isn't with them and if it isn't going to be a positive uh, experience. A lot of times Spirit will give us warnings. Whether we pay attention to those warnings or not, that is up to us. So it does feel like you are starting something all over again that you thought was maybe in the completed stages. So you may have to start at the beginning. But you have the World here, and that is the last card. This is the first card. That is the last card. So it does feel like you're going through a complete cycle very quickly, and you will get your answers. The stuff in the future position are all very bright. They're all very positive. They're all movement oriented, with the exception of the Strength upside down. But these are all the processing that you're going through right now and kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's kind of thing. But it does feel like something that you thought was a done deal. You're going to have to start all over again, is what it feels like. Because of this, or because of this miscommunication, misrepresentation, you've kind of pulled your energy back. This is kind of a hiding card. The Four of Pentacles is the hiding card. And maybe you took a hit at the heart. You know, maybe you were betrayed by a partner. And if that's the case, somehow it feels like there was a betrayal of something. So you've kind of regrouped, pulled your energy back, pulled everything in, and kind of hiding a little bit before you figure out your next step. It's not a bad thing to regroup. Just don't stay there too long. Just don't stay there too long. That's when depression hits and inertia, and we don't do our highest, greatest good for ourselves and others when we hide away. But it does feel like you've had to extricate yourself, kind of pull back, regroup, and rethink how you want this to manifest now. The Hierophant is here. This can be a very spiritual card. This is one where you incorporate spirit or meditation or have the knowledge of the bigger picture in life. Sometimes a Hierophant shows up when folks return to church or when they start really listening to the God or goddess of your heart. It can also mean getting more information spiritually. And if this is a person, the Hierophant can stand for a Taurus. So it may have been a Taurus that disappointed you, changed their mind, or reneged on a promise of some kind. But for the most part, the Hierophant is there when we kind of incorporate us as spiritual beings, not just physical beings on the earth, that we are manifested from the Great Spirit. So that is a very good card. And for those of you who walk in the atheist world, it can just be incorporating and trusting your judgment over someone else's. All right. It does look like you've had to walk away from some things that you really had your emotions tied in. This can be a business deal that went awry. This can be a job that did not serve as you thought. Can often be a layoff from that job, or being kind of, it feels like almost the rug being pulled out from underneath you. So it does feel like you're in the 11th hour and then you've had to change directions. But it does feel like you're walking into the unknown. So you may be going into a new endeavor that you have never experienced before, but you have the willingness and the strength to do it. So this may be, you might have gotten hurt at work and you need to create another way of making money. This can be, a relationship breaking up and walking away from it and walking into the unknown. So it does feel like whatever you had, you were betting on didn't happen, and that you're having to walk away. There is some anger. It does look like you were taken by surprise by this. This is in the present time, so if this is not happening now, pay attention and listen to yourself first and foremost. But you may need to walk away from an agreement you made as well. The Knight of Pentacles is here. Knights really ask for motion. Pentacles are news about money. Could be worldly goods, and could be material things. So you may be getting some messages about maybe the house you want to move into, or a job that you want that will bring you more financial gain. But it does feel like there's a little bit of focus on the material things and focusing on the money a little bit. So it does feel like you need to prioritize before you go into this new endeavor. Get rid of the unnecessary expenditures that, if you eat out 3 times a week, that's not necessary type of thing. Really put it into your future and what you want to do. So it does look like right now you're kind of prioritizing your money a little bit. And of course, Spirit is asking you to make that a physical thing, because it is in the physical. So don't just think about saving money, do it. Or reallocate. We think we need all these things, but we really look at where our money's going out. Half of the stuff we really can adjust and be able to save for other things. So it does look like a little adjustment coming up in your finances, either positive or negative. Okay, the Strength card is right here. It is upside down. The Strength card can stand for a Leo. So there may be a Leo that's involved in this that maybe did not present honestly to you. For the most part, when the Strength card is here and it's upside down, it feels like you might have been hit upside the head with this information, kind of taken by surprise, and it really felt like a betrayal or a hurt. You weren't as strong or aware when it was happening. But, that's only temporary. It's time to gather your strength. You are one of the most resilient signs. You have that wonderful, nurturing, humanitarian part of you. So it does feel like you had a little disappointment in your future plans, and it's time to regroup and reshape them. The King of Cups is here. This feels like a positive influence. Cups are all about emotions. Kings are about completing things and being in integrity. So this is a kind, intuitive, trustworthy fellow who is into the culture and the arts. This can be a water sign. This does not mean it is a female or a male. If it is a water sign, this is Pisces, Cancer, or a Scorpio. And this does feel, with this disappointment, it could have been a heart disappointment. This feels like there's something from the past, from a person from the past, that you really, really miss. Someone who spoke with integrity, who was very spiritual, and it feels like you're missing them a little bit. So you may want to reach out, or they may have reached out to you and you were reconnecting in some way. But it does feel like you have been missing this part of this person, the spiritual aspect, the trustworthy aspect. And water signs, they tend to tell you the truth. They tend to tell you the truth. about yourself and about others. So it feels like you're missing a little integrity in your world, that you kind of maybe lost faith with someone lying to you and you're a little protective. But it does feel like you want to regroup. You want to connect with people of like minds like yourself, someone who has the bigger picture, who wants to do worldly good things on a global level, not just, for your town and not just for themselves. So it does feel like you might have been connected with somebody for a while that really doesn't have the big picture in mind, that might have been a little selfish. And it does feel like you want to expand your connections, whether it's in your love space or whether business space or friend space, that you would really like to be around more like-minded people, that you're moving forward in a kind of a group agreement, a group adventure or project. So the world is right above you, and the world is usually it's a completion of things. It's an offering of other things. It can be a very lucky card. It also can mean the world is in front of you. Now that this thing is completing, you have more choices. So many of you might be looking at retirement or starting a career. But it does feel like something is ending. So it could be like school ending, graduation, and you're starting a career, or you're retiring and you're starting something else. But it does feel like there is a completion here. Can be a relationship that was completed and you were, having a relationship with yourself now. So the world is here. It is the highest card. It is the last card. So something is most definitely ending and another is beginning. The Empress is here. This is the culmination card. This is the nurturing card. So, my gardeners out there, if you've planted your winter gardens, watching them grow type of things, this can be a project that you have started from a seedling and that you're watching it grow. In the basic form of this interpretation, the Empress can stand for pregnancy. So there may be someone in your world that is pregnant. It could be you, it could be your partner, it could be your children. But pay attention. So someone may be making a birth announcement. If that isn't happening, it's usually nurturing something from a seed and watching it grow. It can be physical, like a garden, or it could be a business, or it could be your artistry. Whatever it is something that is a seedling and you're nurturing it to growth, or someone in your world is nurturing a seedling to growth. Justice is on the other side for clarity here, and justice is basically righting a wrong. So this can be anything from a parking ticket that you forgot and you might have gotten some legal information in the mail. It does not necessarily have to be embroiled in a court type thing. It can be just being fair. It could be a friend coming to you and apologizing for some atrocious behavior. So it does feel like something is coming to you. So this maybe you've had some money tied up in a lawsuit or something. So it does feel like there will be some resolution, and that things will be more in balance for you, not imbalanced. So the Justice is right here and it's at the top. So it does feel like it is within your awareness, or coming to your awareness very soon. On the other side of this is the 7. This is the 7 of Pentacles. This is kind of like trying to figure out what kind of seed to plant. So with kind of things being topsy-turvy, you may be looking now at other endeavors. It may be anything from investments, money investments, new jobs. But it does look like, since everything has changed, you're kind of trying to figure out what direction to go now and how that's going to look. So you are taking the time, do your research a little bit, ask questions, ask for help if you need it, Virgo. I know you are always ready, willing, and able to help others, but not that willing to ask for help when it's your turn. So you may need some clarity on which direction to go. Don't be afraid to connect with people that you trust and that will give you good advice. I'm also feeling, with a lot of these discs here, I'm also feeling that some kind of money contribution or responsibility is coming to an end. This could be anything from paying a mortgage that you finished, child support, spousal support. Something is coming to an end, and so you get to reallocate your money for you a little bit more. It hasn't happened yet, but it feels like it is in the works for many of you. Some of you it might have happened. All right, sweet Virgo, that is your general reading for the month of November. I'm going to throw a couple of these Lovers Oracle cards. They're a little hard to shuffle. Well, that one wants to come out. Soulmate. Your soulmate is already with you in spirit. Believe this and they will manifest physically. So if you aren't with your soulmate already, it feels like you are ready and open to receiving that life partner. And if you're already with your life partner, it usually means that you're redoing your love. You know, we need to check in with each other. We grow, so our relationship must grow with us. So for those of you in relationship, that's probably happening. And for those of you not in a relationship, you're either in a relationship with yourself or open and ready to receive